The plane is off. It is a south to north map plane track, and my words are not coming the way I intended them to come, so I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you, Chris. Take it away.
Thank you so much for the great pass. Well, surprisingly similar to Erangel. Once again, the map is quite evenly split straight down the center. A lot of places available up for grabs. 7Cs jumping out first, and they're heading towards the island down south. They'll either settle in Los Higos all the way towards prison. I don't think they can get to prison. It's a bit far away. So even in Los Higos, they should be pretty happy. Marcos, Intense, and Lcraft, they are heading towards Los Leones, but I have a feeling that Aztec and Lcraft might go just a little bit beyond that. Aztec heading towards Puerto Paraiso. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm just hoping that all my Breaking Bad experience will help me pronounce Spanish names properly. But keep in mind that at one point I thought 7Cs were all alone. No, that is not the case anymore. They have one more team contesting them on the southern island. CELTZ taking Chumacera, Fnatic. They are I think they're going to be spreading out across the center of the map, not really going towards any city, but they will take control of multiple settlements like they have always done. The circle, though, it's up towards the top, which means 7Cs, Elves, Lcraft, Aztec, all of them are going to have a tough time getting in there. Keep in mind that 0 Degrees, even though they were close to Los Leones, haven't really taken positions over there. They're taking their cars, and I think they're heading towards Impala, or they will end up in Bandita. A lot of teams, though, in the center. Fnatic, GODLIKE, right next to each other in San Martin. And San Martin, in my opinion, once again, will become one of the places which turns out to be a graveyard of a lot of bodies.
Yeah, we got Fnatic OP, of course, on the screen here, not having the greatest couple of games. I'm sure all the Fnatic fans are going to be feeling pretty devastated at the way Scout has performed these last couple of matches. But nevertheless, Scout is a mechanically gifted player, and maybe it is a communication issue, or maybe it's just that he tried a couple of plays which didn't work out for him. Speaking of GODLIKE on the screen right now, oh, and Mavi already getting a knock on Team M40, Team ORB also getting a knock on AIMGAMING's Ip Man. GODLIKE on screen right now, GODLIKE, a team that has not been performing well at all, but last game coming in second, of course losing to Orange Drop brutally, but nevertheless, it's good to see that GODLIKE is back, because they do not want to get eliminated in these group stages.
Definitely not. It's really difficult to connect the shots with an MK14 when you have no light grip, no tactical stock, and just a red dot. Yeah, even though the car is a much bigger target than an actual human, it's quite tough. I'm actually surprised.
I can't do that on PC, and this guy's taking shots on mobile, so props to him.
Yeah. The funny thing is, at this point, Miramar is undergoing a lot of changes in the PUBG PC version. It's going to be interesting to see when they roll it out in the mobile version as well. Have you checked out the new map, Karakin?
Yes, I have, and it's quite interesting, and I'm pretty excited to see when it comes to PUBG Mobile, because I just picked up a nice new phone, and I've been streaming a lot of PUBG Mobile on that phone. So,
well, we had the circle on the screen for a second, and we did see that all the teams are already beginning to rotate before the first circle even starts ticking. Obviously, as we previously discussed, San Martin is going to be one of those hotspots where GODLIKE is already in position. Now, usually GODLIKE is a team that goes aggressive right off the start. Now they don't have to be necessarily aggressive. They can just stay where they are, and the teams will come towards them. Fnatic knocking on the doors of San Martin. That's going to be the two strongest teams. Probably will face each other off in San Martin. That's going to be an interesting fight. Meanwhile, AIM, very safe in Cruz de Val. Fourier, safe in Torre Ahumada. Water treatment is occupied by Team ORB, and JSL are now moving in from La Coberia towards the northern edges of the circle. But keep in mind, so many teams are still not inside. Intense have control of Los Leones, and then a little bit of Los Leones is also still inside the circle, so I'm assuming TeamELVES will take control of that area as well, which will make things difficult for Lcraft and Aztec, because they will have absolutely nowhere to go. Elves are already on the move. Surprisingly, haven't taken any fights from anyone else. Interesting.
Yes, we've got TeamELVES pretty far away from the map. Of course, everybody has to rotate, but I have to say, Orange Rock is in a very central position right now. Good for them. They know what they're doing here. They know that playing the central circle is the best way to probably win, because they already managed to prove it in Sanhok. Team Intense on the screen right now. We had Zar take a couple of decent kills last game, and of course, oh my god, what happened to CELTZ in the kill feed? He seemed to have jumped off his moving vehicle. Hopefully he'll get a pickup. But Lcraft losing to Fourier in Sanhok last game. Hopefully they've learned some tough lessons. Team CELTZ picking up rocks. Team CELTZ, again, as I said before, a team that really knew what they were doing. They hunkered down under pressure, fighting on two fronts, managing to take out M40, a great team on its own. And of course, we've got Orange Rock here at, I believe this is Minas?
Yeah, this is the Mines.
Yes.
Or you can call it Minas if your Spanish is on point.
My Spanish isn't on point, but but I'll still call it Minas. How dare you, Crips, mock my Spanish, Fnatic.
I mean, I mock a lot of other things about you. Spanish is the last thing that you should be worried about.
Let's get an F in chat, ladies and gentlemen. And we're back to Fnatic, rotating to Minas. Hopefully we'll see these two amazing teams face off against each other. Who do you think would win in a Fnatic versus Orange Rock situation?
Given the circumstances, I would have said Orange Rock because they already had a nice spread out cover all across Minas, and Fnatic would have been at a disadvantage as soon as they walk out of the vehicles, but I'm going to talk about that later as ORB and GODLIKE start trading frags. Carry finishes off Tsunami already, and ORB has no time to recover from that. Meanwhile, in the background, we did see Mavi get a knock on one of the Fnatic players, and now another fight starts in that part of the map as well, so we have two interesting fights happening at the same time. I think ORB is going to back away though, because after losing that one player, they do not want to re-engage. Ash though is in imminent danger. He had the reach for cover, but Mavi pushed out. He extended and finished off Ash.
This is an early loss. This is an early loss for Fnatic, and they're going to want to rethink how they want to play the rest of Miramar. Pretty disappointing for all the Fnatic fans in the audience right now, as Scout, OP, and Gang decide that it's time to rotate to better cover. That was just terrible, and of course, Team ORB losing their player to GODLIKE. We're seeing a lot of good players. Tsunami being one of their better players. We saw Scout, we saw Ash, and we saw Tsunami both get killed. Two good players, and it's not boding well for these teams already.
And that's the thing. Both these teams, after losing that one player, they just decided to back away instead of engaging in the firefight. So I guess the central theme of Miramar is to avoid taking a lot of early losses and somehow sneak your way into the last few circles where the actual meat of the action is there. Scout has spotted one of the other players as well, but he's just firing at a random car and trying to put the tires so that nobody else can use it.
Yeah, Scout not with the greatest loot. I mean, look at that. Level 1 helmet, level 1 bag.
It's just one med kit, nothing else.
JSL on the screen right now, rotating safely into the white. My bad. JSL again, a team that has been playing pretty well these last few games. Especially it was Erangel, I believe, where they fought outside Pachinki, managed to eliminate GODLIKE, and then did some serious damage to Marco's Gaming, which had just aggroed 7Cs. Fnatic now changing position. They have Team Intense in their position, in their crosshairs, always firing a couple of warning shots, saying, "Hey, buddy, we're here, we're here." Mavi falling out of his car. In the meanwhile, Orange Rock, Daljit getting a knock on Lcraft. So we've got Orange Rock probably engaging with Lcraft in the distance. What is Fnatic going to do? Fnatic is not going to take this fight, as always gets headshot in the level 2 helmet. Ronak needs to decide what he wants to do here. Yep, they are committing to the rotate, as Scout also gets into his buggy. Ronak's vehicle, unfortunately, a little far away from him. He's trying to get an angle on Zaidi. Lcraft, meanwhile, knocking down Mavi. Of course, Mavi fell off the car, which could have been a mistake, a serious mistake, as Daljit helps him up. Lcraft in a very good position, all 4 players alive, and they have the height advantage. And now we have the circle, Crips.
Well, surprisingly, M40 is really spread apart, but they have nobody else around them, so they're safe. 2 fights happening at the same time, Lcraft versus Orange Rock, and we have Fnatic versus Intense. GODLIKE are rotating into the circle, but will they run into ORB? They're dangerously close. That northern border of the circle, it's still up for grabs, and a lot of teams haven't made the rotations just yet, but they are. Let's see if we see any more fights other than the 2 that we are already seeing. Circle continues to shift southwards. My tongue over there. And here we are back again. Clowny rattling off shots, hasn't connected any of them yet, but Orange Rock have had plenty of time to revive their players and get everything back on track.
Yep. Ironically, remember the first Miramar game that Orange Rock played? Orange Rock was on those very cliffs, taking pot shots at everybody. But now the tables have turned, and they're on the receiving end of that canyon of death. We've got a nice MK14 on the screen right now, so if any viewers would like to pick it up, just head on over to the group stages of A&D Miramar. Be our guest. Orange Rock. Intense.
They're in very close vicinity of yet another. I'm definitely sure they've heard the engines roaring of Fnatic, but keep in mind Fnatic were trying to disengage, if I'm not wrong, with this fight. Not sure if Fnatic have completely fallen apart yet, but even Intense, they're not too keen on pushing into them.
Yeah.
It's this awkward moment where both the teams know of each other's existence but do not want to take any action against it, as once again Scout continues to split apart from his teammate. This could work out in his favor if he manages to get an angle onto Intense, and while they're busy focusing on Scout, maybe Ronak and Novace can step into the action. But historically, Scout hasn't really been doing a lot of good stuff whenever he splits up. I like his ideology.
Yeah, this has not been working out for Scout. Sorry to interrupt you, but like he shouldn't be doing this, splitting away from his teammates. I mean, I understand that is his playstyle and all, but they are already at a one-man disadvantage here. And with Team Intense, of course, Fnatic definitely can hold their ground against Team Intense, no doubt. But Scout OP, you know, with that level 1 helmet, just running around helter-skelter, he'd have to be very careful. Meanwhile, 7C's off camera, taking a couple of shots, getting a couple of knocks on Team Hype. Where is this happening?
This is happening at the edges of the circle. Both these teams trying to rotate inwards. Hype already in their cars, and they do not want to run into 7C, so they continue to just drive away from the action, hoping that SK is the only player they lose. Meanwhile, Orange Rock, we saw them engage in another battle. Now CELTZ is upon them, and they've already killed a couple of their players. Orange Rock, they started to move out of the Minas Generalis, and CELTZ have caught them in the middle of this rotation with their cars in the center of the road. They're using the smoke so that they can hopefully revive each other, but this is the perfect opportunity that CELTZ need to take. They are flanking them from the other side. Rox gets into that buggy, and he's on the other side of the road, which means Orange Rock are now surrounded. They're taking the approach that usually entity take up.
CELTZ Rox gets a knock on Mavi, even though Mavi managed to shoot his tire off from the buggy. This is not looking good for Mavi and his teammates as CELTZ circles in like vultures, trying to get that kill. Too many knocks on Orange Rock. Orange Rock, Daljeet not disappointing his teammates, getting the knock on CELTZ Red. Daljeet quickly playing medic as he reses Anto. The shots keep getting fired. Explosions all over the place. Unfortunately, Orange Rock, John finally gets downed. Daljeet knocked as well. Mavi finally eliminated. This is not looking good for Orange Rock as they are eliminated by Team CELTZ. Beautiful coordination from the team who has been performing incredibly well in the last game as well.
Fnatic, we saw them take a couple of hot shots at players from Aztec. Keep in mind that Aztec was not the team they were initially fighting. They were engaged in a battle with Team Intense. So this might just turn into a 3-way engagement. We see on the radar that Fnatic is also engaging with M40 at the same time. And Scout is once again playing as a Scout, true to his name. They have all the teams all around them. They just need to find themselves a decision and decide which team they need to focus on, because this is very similar to Erangel. Keep in mind that Fnatic in Erangel also had teams all around them, but they could not decide which one to engage with first. Hopefully they don't repeat the same mistake again.
Meanwhile, Fnatic taking fights on two sides with GSL also looking pretty damaged as Intense who goes in for the kill. Team Intense, the pride of Kerala, as they say, pushing forward, knocking out people left, right and center. Surya OP gets down by Lcraft. Oh my god, Lcraft also trying to get some kill steals right here, some opportunistic kills as GSL, Glaive and Fairs are like, enough is enough, we need to get out of here. GSL sort of like leaving with the skin of their teeth, 2-man disadvantage there. Intense still has their angles on them as they spray down Glaive. Oh my god, Zaddy getting the knock on Glaive. This is not good for GSL as GSL Fairs needs to make a decision here and he decides to leave Glaive as Team Intense spraying down Glaive. They do want to take that shot. Oh my god, Zal, his buggy damaged with that front right wheel off. We're back to 7Cs.
7Cs, they are getting fired upon by Fnatic and they are down on the low ground. Viru needs to be revived, and historically whenever Viru has been trying to revive 420 or the other way around, they both get knocked out in the middle of that. But while I spoke about knockouts, Godlike engaged with Lcraft, and Lcraft have been eating a lot of bullets all throughout the tournament. Let's hope this one doesn't end well for them. But while I talk about ending, M40 is out of the game already. A lot of fights happening in a lot of different teams, and once again, ORB Elite go out early. It seems like ORB Elite is definitely cursed in this tournament. Even though they post a lot of good players, they have been not performing well at all, not even a single time. So that's a bit sad. Let's see if Fnatic continue to dish punishment upon every other team in the vicinity. Clear line of sight onto Team Fourier.
We did miss something, Crips. We did miss M40's elimination. Do you remember? Did you see that?
I literally spoke about M40 like 2 seconds ago.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Your audio, I think, cut off for me.
Okay.
Here we go. We've got Fnatic and TeamELVES also on the screen right now. Marcos entering the fight as TeamELVES pinned down by Team 6. Marcos Gaming. Here we go. It's up to TeamELVES to now push out. Oh, as that nade bites Elvis in the back. TeamELVES finally eliminated. Marcos showing some aggression finally so late in the game, but here we go. They did choke in yesterday's Miramar match, but we can hopefully see them come back. Fourier, 7Cs and Fnatic on the screen right now. They're all just playing very slowly. And in the background, we've got Lcraft taking out Ryder. Intense and Lcraft in a trade show right there. GSL entering the fight. Holy shit. What is happening? Can we get some eyes on that, please?
AIM continuing to dish out the punishment towards Team Hype. And while I talk about that, Lcraft somehow get the knock onto all of Intense players. They completely eliminate that team. And while Hype is busy doing that, Marcos come into the fray. They're trying to third party into this action. Smokey already far away from his teammates in a very risky position. He is the sole surviving member who can actually turn this game around. Let's hope a lot of hope is pinned onto this man. Scout somehow was knocked out, which is surprising to see because... No, wait, he's not knocked out. He's just low on health.
Yes.
Never mind. The UI does glitch me a bit. But if you look at the circle, it's only Godlike and Lcraft who are engaging in a one-way battle at the upper end of the circle. Everyone else towards the south. We have 0 Degrees, which is also Marcos. At the same time, we have Fnatic and 7Cs trying to take pot shots at each other. Godlike, though, instead of fighting with the other team, Lcraft, they are also trying to rotate away at the same time while trying to gatekeep them. So one of the players is taking shots at them while the other players make their escape. Ronak, in a risky move, gets into the car and he is getting shot at, but he somehow manages to make it to safety.
Let's hope that Fnatic actually places in a top 3 position here, as 7C's Viru and 420 OP having a better love story than Twilight. Finally healing each other up. 7C's, let's see if they can actually cultivate this position that they have into a placement. We've got Team 14, of course, Team Fourier also moving into the circle. Fnatic playing very smartly, very centrally located. And we've got Marcos Gaming now. Oh my god, Marcos Gaming blowing up Ducky, blowing up another player. Holy shit, we've got so many things going on in the background. Unfortunately, we're missing all of it as CELTZ third-party AIMGAMING as well. So we've got a fight between Lcraft, CELTZ Gaming, Marcos Gaming, and AIMGAMING. So much of gaming on the screen right now. There's not much cover, and GSL unfortunately falling to a Fourier team member. Aztec and CELTZ battling it out, as I love how Fnatic is just chilling. They're just taking shots, like opportunistic shots left, right, and center. Look at Ronak go.
Yeah, he's just hoping to steal a couple of kills onto the knocked out players. He doesn't want to take any more risks because they're already down a player and they don't want to lose any more. So they're just going to chill in the background. Nice nade from Clowny. Gets one more knock onto one of the players from CELTZ as they continue getting fired upon from Aztec as well. So CELTZ are the one who are in a lot of trouble right now because they are fighting 2 teams at once. Meanwhile, Fnatic like an eagle on top of them, crowning a bow and watching for an opportunity.
Yes, Fnatic in such a good position. And as you called it correctly, CELTZ eliminated, could not keep up with the heat on them. This is a very bad circle for a lot of these teams, especially Godlike, Lcraft, because they're all caught out in the open. Dangi pretty far away from his teammate as he needs to rotate back into the circle. We've got Killsum trying to get an angle on Marcos Gaming right here. Killsum has probably seen his silhouette, but no, he did not. I stand corrected. He's still trying to get an angle from the same spot, hoping that he can get a shot on Marcos Gaming. Marcos Gaming finally back in the game.
Yeah, but Aztec knows exactly where they are. He saw them rotate in circle and he predicts their movements as they were getting pushed ahead of the blue zone as well. So one nade can actually destroy Marcos Gaming right there because they've been rotating predictably and Aztec has eyes on them. Speaking of eyes, keep your eyes on the circle. It's shrunk even further and this is going to be super problematic. One lone member of AIMGAMING who was hiding in a corner somewhere finally gets killed and AIMGAMING is out of the picture as well.
Look at the circle right now. We've got a few teams slightly out of the circle. 7C's. Oh, and Godlike Gil putting down some lead on Fourier player, and he gets the knock on him. Godlike Gil. Oh my God, Lcraft also eliminated. Trying to put some pressure on both those players. He finishes him off. He finishes Jas OP of Fourier off, and now he sets his eyes on somebody else as Killsum eliminating Marcos Gaming. Marcos Gaming choking at the last moment. Not a good play from them, unfortunately. Fnatic now keeping their eyes on 7Cs. They spotted them. It is now up to 7Cs to really show that they have what it takes to compete in this tournament.
We saw 7Cs try to take fights with Fnatic early on and with Orange Rock, but they haven't been performing well. Viru gets instantly down by Spidey, and Final Boss walks into a trap that South and always set up. This one is a bad one. 7Cs out of the picture. They played very safe. They played very well up until this point, but they made one unfortunate push. They get knocked out and meet the same fate as Marcus Gaming. Both of them rotated predictably, and their opponents quick to the trigger.
Kill. Oh my God. Godlike laying down lead on Team Fourier, blowing up all their lovely vehicles. What a pin down that they've got there. But even though Team Fourier is in the circle right now, if they do get circle screwed, they are going to be caught out in the open by Godlike. Aztecs, meanwhile, is in a great position. Look at Sonic just hiding out there. Godlike.
Yeah. Last member for his team, Sonic, he continuing to pray to the gods that nobody will spot him. He's hoping that the teams will fight each other off first, but I think they are aware about his position. Might be unintentional. But somehow Gil continues to stay in that little shack, even though he was getting shot upon, even though his position is known to pretty much every team, he's still alive.
Finally.
And while I say that, Godlike continue to dish punishment. They get one more knock onto Fourier. They are pinned down. There's no way out. And finally, Sonic is eliminated. His team goes out in the 4th place. But keep your eyes on Team Fourier. They're getting pushed ahead by the play zone. And Godlike are not going to let them through, as all of them now have to get into their cars and move into the circle. But Fourier don't even have any cars to work with. And they all have to move in towards Team Fnatic, are still inside this little compound, and they have a nice spread out player base, which means they have eyes on every different direction.
Right. We've got 4 teams right now in the mix. We've got Godlike outside the circle, Fnatic slightly outside the circle, but Aztec nice and comfy within the circle. All they have to do is hold their position and not get knocked by anybody. Carry has an angle on Spidey. Team Aztec. Oh, but he gets caught out in the open. He sprays but manages to survive. This is a fight between Godlike and Aztec, as Aztec knocks Gil. Always getting into the fight, knocking down Carry. The play zone also knocking down Gil. This is chaos, as Godlike getting shot from every angle, from Fnatic, from Aztec, getting the worst position ever. Meanwhile, Fourier taking advantage of all this cluster fighting, slowly making their ways into the circle from the north.
How are they even live?
They are just biding their time, as Godlike in a pretty bad position. Fnatic trying to get an angle, always just seeing if he can get a sneak peek at any of the Aztec players. Team Aztec playing unbelievably well with their position, of course, that position advantage for sure, as Scout pushes forward and gets a knock on Satan. On Satan, it's Fnatic, and Fnatic getting a kill on Satan. Aztec team member down. It is a 3v3 between Aztec and Fnatic. Fourier losing to a play zone. Godlike in a bad position as Raj putting down so many bullets on Godlike. Can exist. Ray Smokey OP always has an idea that he is quite close to Godlike, and all he has to do is hold that angle. Raj FTW, never mind, finds Godlike, eliminates both of them. Godlike eliminated, and Oves and Scout see that and shoot some bullets at him. Raj needs to do something, holding that ground. This is so intense. But Aztec sees Raj, they see the action, and Team Fourier comes out in 3rd place. It is now Fnatic versus Aztec. I'm gonna let you take this.
Okay, this is, I think, one of the only times where splitting up will actually work for Fnatic. If they can somehow get out towards the left-hand side and send Oves down from the trenches, out of this little mess that Ronak and Scout are trapped in, they might just be able to get the kill onto CELTZ. And once they do that, Spidey will be an easy prey. Keep in mind that Aztec is split up, but it will only work for them if they somehow manage to trade each other off, which isn't really possible. But look at Spidey. He's rotating all the way around the circle. All CELTZ needs to do is hold on and not die. But he will get the kill onto Scout, and he will finish him off as well. This is brilliant. All CELTZ needed to do was stay alive and set up a distraction while Spidey rotates, but he gets something even better. And now it's an even 2 versus 2. Spidey has made his way towards safety, and he's now with CELTZ, which means both of them can trade frags with each other. Spidey was in a very awkward position at first. Not anymore. And Aztec once again, with brilliant rotations, find themselves in the lead. Ronak takes the fight with CELTZ. They both disengage at the same time, taking a bit of damage, but not really finishing each other off. They must use their nades properly now. Always trying to go around the other side. He might just be caught off guard, but CELTZ decides to push in, and he gets knocked out. Not before he knocks out Ronak first. It's a 1v1, and Aztec comes out on top once again.